Hey guys, I wanted to go over the squat with you, like how to increase hip flexibility. Hip flexibility is very, very important. There's some studies that have linked hip flexibility with aging and mobility as you get older. Of course, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, I don't know everything about all that, but I do know that it does make sense. That if you don't have hip flexibility, your mobility starts to go down, and we do know there is a correlation between aging and mobility. In other words, if you stop moving, you start aging faster. Your mind starts to get negative, and as a result, it starts to affect your health. So there is a correlation between hip flexibility and health and your mental state. So one of the things we try to do in the classes, we try to do a lot of hip flexibility exercises, mobility exercises to strengthen your hip and to get more flexible. So I'm going to go over 4 exercises with you that you can practice at home. We do these in class, but something to kind of give you some tips on how to do it, all right? The first one is real simple. It's just a squat, a simple squat. I'm going to show you some of the mistakes that I see people make and how to do it properly. The first thing is, when you do the squat, you want to take your feet and turn them out the same direction as your femur or your thighs. You don't want them turned in this way, you don't want to turn them in this way. The other thing is, when you do it, don't roll forwards. It's too much stress on your knees. Remember, we're not working on knee flexibility, we're working on hip flexibility. So you want to keep your weight on your heels and the weight on the outside of your legs, of your feet. So as you squat down, you're squatting straight down, just like this, all right? This is the first thing. This is real simple. You just kind of sit down into it. You'll find at first that you're not as flexible, or you want to move forward, or it's like, oh, that hurts. But what's going to happen is your hip is going to get more flexible. You're going to get more flexible in the knee area, the calf, the lower back, the hamstrings, and the quads, all right? So the first thing is just make sure you sit down. If you can pick up your big toes, you know you're doing it right. If not, you got too much weight going forwards, you're not working on hip flexibility. If you need to, put your hands on the ground, take some of the weight off, and just kind of work your way down just like this, all right? That's the first, it's one of the first things. To open it up, you can take your hands together and work it out just like this, okay? That's one way. You can also, if you need a little more, you can take one fist and one hand. I can't quite do 2 fists, yes, but I'm sure some of you can. All right, so that's the first one, just sitting down into this squat. The second thing is, I'll show you another way to do it, is you have it this direction, you keep this elbow into this knee, and you just take this hand and you work your way up. Palm down, palm out, just turning up, just like this. As you turn up, you're gonna feel it in the lower back, working that flexibility in there. So from here, standing this way, elbows in, reaching up, okay? Then you come back, you do the other side. This is the second one. Take this elbow in here, take this palm out, and just reach up with flexibility that way. Oh, that feels good. All right, so all you're doing is you're just working that range of motion in there a little bit more, okay? Now, here's the third one, real simple. It's a variation of this one. You take your hands just like this, but reach around and grab the opposite ankle. See how I got that ankle there? From here, reach it up, same thing, and turn and turn and turn. Try to touch this elbow to the ground. Now be careful when you do it. Don't get your weight to the inside here. It's too much stress on the knee. Try to hold your squat and turn as far as you can comfortably. Boom. And you do the other side. From here, working this elbow down, this hand up, just like that. That's the third exercise. Here is the fourth one. We do this one a lot in class also. You put your feet apart, just like this, and you work it side to side, working that hip flexibility, and eventually you work your way down to a one-legged squat. To do this, make sure your feet don't move, but this foot turns up, heel stays down. Don't come up. Sometimes you'll see this. You're no longer working heel flexibility. If your heel is coming up, that means your flexibility isn't, you're not quite as flexible as you need to be. So keep the heel down, going only as far as you can. Keep the weight on the outside. If you have to, use your hands to walk it. Use your hands to walk it back and forth. Then eventually, you'll do it with no hands, Just your leg strength and flexibility. Just like that. Perfect.